Coming in hot, Chinchy. How we doing today, brother?
How we doing? What a morning, man.
Jeez.
You know our boy Dan Plesac, who's one of the funniest, greatest human beings ever. Like
Ever.
he can get the red ass as well as
Oh,
anybody.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And like every once in a while I walk into the office and I would see his face and he would go, "Hey Chinch, you ever have one of them days?" You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Holy cow, this morning has been one of them days. So I'm going to take you through my side, and then
Well, I was going to say, are we going your side or my side first? Your side?
Let's go my side first.
Okay. All right.
No,
all right.
go your side first.
Okay.
Because fresher. Yours is more
Okay.
fresh.
Okay. So I get a text. We're supposed to go on 11:15. I get a text at like 10:45 from your wife. Yes. Jess is like, "Hey, Sean, have you heard from Rich?" And I'm like, "Oh God, that's panic mode." If Jess is texting me, it's panic mode. So I'm like, "Are you serious? Oh my God, let me try and call him." So I call it. Boo goes right to voicemail. I'm sending you text. Hey, a podcast at 11:15. Nothing. She's like, "Oh, I'm worried. His thing's going right to voicemail." I'm worried now. I'm worried. Like APB out on Chinch. Bro, then you text me back. I'm good for 11:15. I text Jess right back. I heard from him. He's alive. 11:15 podcast. So, dude, I'm just glad you're alive. Okay. What's going on? What has your morning been like?
What the hell? You have more of a morning that we'll get into after this, but let's stay on this topic. So normally I wake up at 8 a.m. But Jess gets up. She's up, Adam, boom, out of the door, getting to work, which she was doing. Macy, right back there, I brought her down for the show. Racy wakes up at 8, licking my face, and there's a routine. We go downstairs, I feed her, she goes out, drops a dookie, comes back in, and then usually I make my morning coffee and I start going. So now what happened this morning was it was early, and this was the first time in, dude, we tape at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? I was out late New Year's. Why don't I just like relax a little bit, lay in bed? Now, here's the problem. Problem was my phone was dead. I didn't have it on my charger. I have a little charger plate. Right. You can put it on. My phone's dead. So during the Macy experience, I'm like, oh, I got to charge my phone. So I put the phone on the charger. The charger I have upstairs, that's like a little plate thing, takes longer to turn on. Before it got the chance to turn on for me to say, "Hey, Jess, I'm up, but I might take a little nap right now because I have time to sleep and I haven't, catch up on some sleep, some Z's." Right, you got your ring, whatever the freaking.
Right. Yeah, Aura ring.
Aura ring, yeah. I was doing my Aura ring stuff. Now I fall asleep before the thing came on. I wake up beautifully, like, oh yeah, I'm back. I feel great. I'm excited. It's like 10. I'm like, I haven't slept this late in a year. My phone looked like there was a nuclear explosion and we're gonna have to evacuate. Now, what I did not know, first of all, wait, let me also say this. I have a text here from Jess. I go, I'm starting the show with this. And because she got mad. But all exclamation points. Don't make me out to be the crazy one here. And then she sent me the screen grab of you guys' conversation. Who did this? Who put the Justin Timberlake on your conversation?
She did.
Angry this is how she feels about me right now. Look at that. She's angry Justin Timberlake.
Well, she was saying, really? That's Justin Timberlake going, really? Yeah. Turn your phone off to take a nap? We don't ever do that,
Turn it off. It was dead.
Same thing.
You ever have one of them days? So now everything's settled and I'm awake and alive. Apparently, I don't know what trouble I could have gotten into from between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. this morning. But so then we're about to start the show and your phone rings, and what the hell just happened to you?
Oh, dude, no, I'm not my phone rings. I'm over there with Jake. He's making breakfast, knock at the door. Usually it's like the Amazon guy or the FedEx guy. I come out, it's my dad. So when my dad nowadays drives over to the house, something's not right. So he just got back from work. I open the door. I'm like, "Hey, Dad." He's like, "Hey, just had a great workout with JD." And, he's like, "I need your help. I need a favor." I'm like, "What's going on, Dad?" He's like, "Your mom went to grab a case of water, and put it into the car, blew out her back." Now, my mom I was telling the kids the other day, I haven't seen my mom throw a ball, run a sprint. I see her lift every once in a while. Like I haven't seen. My mom's not the most athletic person out there, right? So I can see that water just taking her down. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's a tough cookie, though. She's a New Yorker through and through. She's tough, but it got her like back. I don't think my mom's ever been to the chiropractor either. So I'm a little nervous with this. So my dad's like, hey, do me a favor, call a couple of your chiropractor buddies, see if you can get mom in. He goes, she's really struggling. Meanwhile, my mom's like a tough, really tough woman. So like she probably doesn't love my dad trying to get her to the chiropractor either. One of those like old school, like I'm fine.
Absolutely.
I don't think she's fine this time. I think she's actually jacked up.
Geez.
So, dude, right before we come on, I'm like, Chinch, thank God you're alive. First off. Second off, I'm trying to get an appointment for my mom right now at the chiropractor. So I call a friend of mine. He's like, I'm about to leave. Can you get over here now? So I'm like, Dad, you got to drive home, grab mom, get to the chiropractor. So that's how this beginning of this show started. We had an APB ad on you. And now we got my mom's sciatica is freaking.
APB. There was, Jess, I swear. Thank goodness. Like, the problem with living near my cousins and stuff, like they're all right around a block. I'm surprised. I bet 5 minutes later, if I woke up 5 minutes later, one of my cousins would have been at my door, like, "Are you all right? What's going on?" And I would have, guess
Matt
what?
Matt would have drove home from the network. We're like, "You good, man?"
I know. I feel great.
Kids, think about that, dude. You look great. Looks like you got great sleep. Seriously. No, seriously, Chinch. Think about this though for a second. I was thinking about it. It brought me back to when I got called up to the big leagues because it's worth it, dude. I get called up to the big leagues. Biggest moment of my life. Just hit a home run in the 10th to win it. Go in the Brian Graham's office, the manager. Mark Shapiro's there. Congratulations, Sean. Congratulations. You are going to the big leagues. And I'm start crying. I'm like, let's get it. I can't wait to call my parents. Where's the nearest payphone? Because we don't have cell phones in 1997. So, dude, I go running out of the clubhouse, which is in the back left field, Iowa. You walk, dude, all there was were cornfields around and no one in the stadium. I went flying out I had to go to the concourse to find a freaking payphone.
No landline in this place?
No, there was no landline. What are you, nuts? It was the visiting clubhouse. There was nobody there, I go flying out, bro, to a payphone in the concourse. No one's in the stadium to call my mom. My mom and dad to tell them I made the big leagues. Jess is calling you to see what you're having for dinner tonight. And she's got an APP bulletin out because your cell phone's dead. That's how far we've come in life. That's how far we've come in life.
That's a great perspective on this.
My parents never would have known I just hit the game-winning home run and I'm getting called to the big leagues. I could have called the next day. They'd be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Jess calls you, your phone's dead, and she's calling 17 friends, relatives, and wants to know if you're dead.
That's such a great, dude. I remember when I was at Columbia, every year they did this really cool thing. The entire Columbia University, they would rent out the Intrepid in Manhattan on the East River. It's the Intrepid. It was a former
boat.
The aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about.
And
they would okay, I get it. and I remember we would go to the Intrepid. It's huge, it's like a mobile, compound. And if somebody had to go to the bathroom, I remember it'd be like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. Hopefully I'll find you later. If not, we're all meeting up at what was the bar called? It was Cannons. We're all gonna meet up at Cannons by 12:30. So if I don't see you, I'll see you at Cannons at 12:30. And that's like one of my best friends because the built was so big and like you had no phone service, so you couldn't find anybody. And nobody, I don't think kids understand.
So how about being at college when you're like, hey, you're trying to, meet up with a girl. Hey, meet me at this bar at 7:30. You go at 7:30, then your buddies are like, hey, we're going to another bar. You're like, wait, I'm meeting this girl at 7:30. Like, right. And so next thing you know, I go to another bar. We don't meet up. She calls me the next day on the landline at the apartment. Hey, what happened? I was there at 7:30. Just wondering. We went to another bar. Sorry, I don't have a freaking payphone. And you know what's incredible too, Chinch? these kids now do it on Snapchat. I don't know if you everything is on Snapchat.
Yeah,
So like my daughter, 13-year-old daughter, is ridiculous, 8th grade. She hits a button on Snapchat. It shows her where 40 friends are located. So if they're not having a party and you're not invited, it's like depressing. They're like, all of my friends are at so-and-so's house, Sally's house.
Nobody
I'm not
told me.
invited.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. So instead of running to a payphone in Iowa, you now look on your phone on Snapchat and go, we got 4 people at the South Hills Village shopping for at Target. We got 8 people at a party right now, pizza party. We got 16 people at swim practice.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. I remember like when you would go to the Yankee game, when I would go to a Yankee game, like me and my dad and like my uncle would come, we're coming from different places. It always used to be at the old Yankee Stadium. They had the huge, do they still have the bat at the new Yankee Stadium? I don't remember. Did they put the bat? It was a huge bat that was the size of the stadium. Right. And it was like, like an artifact. And be like, all right, we'll meet at the bat 12:45 for the one we're going to meet at the bat. That's how you would see family and meet people you were going to a baseball game with.
Dude, for anybody listening, come on. I mean, please, you have to relate to what we're saying because it's so good. It's so true. Like,
so true.
It's so true. I still have a landline because my New Year's resolution is to freaking run over this with my car. So I got a landline upstairs. I'm like, I'm getting off this freaking absolute dream killer. I call it the dream killer.
It is a dream
Kids,
killer.
You want to have dreams? Get off these phones or you'll kill your dreams.
Yeah, well, I got off mine last night and I'm in trouble for it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll almost kill you, Rich.
Well, my wife thought I was dead anyway, so.
I know, dude.
Anyway, all right, let's get into a little sports talk here for once. Never have one of them days. So, this guy, Mike Axisa, really cool article on CBSSports.com. He enlisted 5 MLB contenders who need to be more active in 2024, including the hibernating Cubs. That's a harsh line, not in a bad way, but all right. I'm going to rip through some of this stuff. It brings up a good point because it's like it has been quiet. There are some teams who are in need of things. There are other teams who are in need to get from like really good to great. And the number 1 team on his list is, I like this name. It's the Baltimore Orioles. The feel-good team of 2023, I think we can argue, right?
No doubt.
Yeah, he's, the only thing they've done so far is they signed Craig Kimbrell, which is a great sign, I would say. But also, he's saying they need a high-end starter. What do you think? You were in an AL East.
I think they do too, man. And I think, like, tell you the truth, one of the guys that pops right into my head, Jordan Montgomery.
Good one.
It'd be great to have a veteran guy that's been in the postseason that could lead the way. Some of the young guys in the staff, like Rodriguez and those guys.
Yeah.
For me, that a guy like that pops right out. But I agree. I think you could never have enough starting pitching. Jackson Holiday's coming this year. He's probably going to be the starting shortstop. You move Gunnar Henderson over to third base. I mean, the guys are loaded. You want to talk about loaded? These guys are loaded. They got more guys coming, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you win on the bump, especially in the AL East. You got to have pitching. Now, they do have good pitching now, but, man, to have like a nice veteran starter or 2 in that rotation would be huge. And you don't want to miss the window, guys. Just because the team's young and good, you got to give them the resources to win. I even look back when I was in Cincinnati and we brought up Adam Dunn and Austin Kearns and Griffey had just been traded over. And our window, they're like, oh, these guys are young. Yeah, but we never got any pitching. They never went out and got us any pitching. So we're leading the league in every offensive category. We got no pitching, so we're going to lose. Yeah. The Baltimore Orioles have the team right now, the young team. Like, make sure that you give them every resource possible to be legit. And I think, keep adding that, frontline starter. Maybe.
Right. And depending on the thing about young guys is there is a window with them to have to pay them.
Right.
At a certain point, you're going to have to open your pocketbook. And if you don't have money in the pocketbook, your window is closing. That's what happened with like the
Pirates.
The Pirates, those KC teams, remember those KC teams? It was like, they're going to be champions for 10 years. Nope. Well, guess what? They got out,
Hosmer's gone. Mistakis is gone. Lorenzo Cain gone.
Yeah, you couldn't have signed all of them at the same time.
Yeah, you couldn't keep
them all. That's a good one. The second team he picks is the Cubs, which is, dude, I forgot, like the biggest story for a while was how they snuck in and stole Craig Counsell from everybody.
Right.
So they did make a very extremely huge, significant move. So we got to give him credit for that, getting Craig Counsell. However, you've been saying you want Bellinger on the Cubs. If it's not Bellinger, he's saying maybe Matt Chapman, maybe try to trade for Shane.
Yeah,
Bieber,
yeah. I was saying
something.
Shane Bieber. I like that too.
I
Maybe
like that
trade
idea
for Shane Bieber. I think the Cubs. I want to say the Cubs are the number one, have the best farm system in the big leagues.
Hey.
I'm saying they're up there. I know that. I know they're up there.
Okay.
And that being said, that means they have pieces to trade for guys like Bieber or whoever, you know.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
yeah.
I have the final rankings. Look at me getting some research in here.
Yeah, tell me what you got.
They are considered the number 2, which is just as good as number 1. Number 2.
Okay, yeah, they're right there. And maybe some places they are 1 because I think
I think you're right. Yeah, it's the Orioles and the Cubs back and forth on most of the lists.
So they're gonna have resources. And talk about the Orioles. Talk about swinging a trade, Shane Bieber, something like that.
Yeah,
you actually have the pieces. You know, you have so many good young players. You have the pieces to go get a veteran starter that could, you know, or 2, right? And so for the Cubs, I agree, veteran starter. But I really believe Bellinger's going to Chicago. Bellinger's going back to the Cubs. We're going to see it here soon. I think there's no doubt about it because I think they realize the value he has, man. He brought that lineup to another level. Yeah. Where have they been scuffing the last couple of years? With offense. Offense, right? So for a little bit there, you just had Ian Happ, it seemed like, in the middle of the lineup. Now you got Swanson. Now you put Bellinger back in that lineup with Happ and those guys. No, now it's pretty formidable. So I'd be shocked if Bellinger, you don't see Cody Bellinger back with the Chicago Cubs.
That's a good one. Okay, great call. His next team, I'm going to go down this list. This is a great list. It's a great article. His next team is the Astros. Their current outfield is Chase McCormick, Kyle Tucker, and this is a long time ago. He said they should go get Juan Soto, but they didn't. He's saying the Astros need an outfield bat. What do you think about
that? Well, you can never have enough bats.
Wait,
you know,
I think there's a typo in here. Why would Juan Soto be his left fielder?
Well, they were just saying they should have gone after it.
That's right.
They should have gone after Juan Soto, or maybe they were laying in the weeds for him, but you know, they didn't make it. They didn't make it happen. But you know, hey, listen, Jorge Soler would be a nice one there. What about maybe? I don't. Could you do J? No, you can't do JD Martinez because you already have Yordan Alvarez
as a DH.
You know, yeah.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. But you could never. You know, Reese Hoskins too.
Yeah. The problem is a lot of the bats are infielders, and they need an outfielder, and that just comes up actually a point that there aren't that many outfielders out there, huh?
Yeah. Look at Harrison Bader, but you're getting Bader more probably for defense than you are anything. So.
Some free outfielders right now.
Astros, and then what's the next one? Mariners.
Yeah. Mariners.
So what have they done? They signed Mitch Garver. They traded Luis Urias. They traded Kelnick.
Right.
Which was big.
Get money off the books.
And Suarez is gone too.
Yeah. He's saying
he says they need bats. They need bats, big time bats. So
that's an interesting one.
Wouldn't Justin Turner look good there?
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, like a Justin Turner to the Mariners, or maybe
even
a JD Martinez, man.
That's a good call. And then now let's get to your boys. We love this team. We've been we root for the Toronto Blue Jays. We really do.
We like
their management. We like the players on the team.
Yep.
Your buddies with Dante Bichette, dad of the other Bichette. He's saying they got to sign Bellinger. I don't know. Like, don't you think the Blue Jays would have signed Bellinger right now?
If they were going to sign Bellinger, they think they would have done it by now. Because I think they had, they have the money to do it. But I think bringing back Kiermaier, Isaiah kind of Falefa, I really like a lot.
Yeah.
And Izzy's.
Dude, that post, when we posted that blew up, man.
I know.
Blue Jays fans were so excited that you backed it because.
Dude, I was with him.
I know. Yeah.
I like what he brings to the table, dude. This guy's a gamer, man. He's a gamer. You know, listen, is he a superstar player? No, but this is a guy that can fill so many holes. He could play short. He could play third. You know, Matt Chapman's going to be gone. He could play some third base. You know what I mean? So like, I think Izzy's a guy you got to get. You know, if he could get 400 to 500 at bats, that would be great. I think one thing he said here that's interesting is, you know, you got Gosman tied up, you got Springer tied up. Only for, you know, there's a window closing here. You got Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr. for 2 more years. They haven't signed them yet long term. I bet you both those guys go to free agency. So you do see the Blue Jays obviously try to get Ohtani. They were one of the finalists to get him. They're so close. They have the money to probably do it, but you know, I guess they're waiting to see. They want to have a really good fit. You know, you're not just going to sign anybody long term and then strap the organization moving forward when you're trying to, you know, build for the
they're at the point that we're saying Baltimore is going to be in a couple of years with their young guys getting ready to get paid. That's
right, exactly.
So it's like, their window is even tighter.
It's tighter, right?
Yeah,
right.
But you know what?
It seems like Bo Bichette and Vlad Jr. just got in the league, but they're 4 years in now.
Yeah,
they're 2 years away from free agency. They're closing.
And they're getting paid. I don't care.
Arbitration.
They're
getting paid, dude. Bo Bichette's getting paid. Vlad Jr.'s getting paid.
Who gets paid more? I think Vlad gets paid more eventually down the road. What do you think?
Yeah, but also, dude, Bo Bichette's a shortstop.
I love Bo Bichette. I'm just saying, if for some reason I think there's more.
Well, Vlad's upside could be better because you know we already saw, had Ohtani not had that huge year a couple years ago, which he always does, Vlad Jr. would have been the MVP. Man, but I guess the big question, can he get back to that? And I think the biggest thing with Vlad Jr., exit velo's still high, still puts the ball in play hard. So you'd have to think that you know that he's gonna get it going here again at another level.
And he's a bigger built guy, but he's an athlete too. You see him run.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
He's an athlete, dude. Can you imagine? Let's just say in 8 years, the way Dante Bichette is sitting there waiting for his son to go to free agency. Imagine one day Sean Casey's sitting there with Jake going, man, you 5 years coming up now. Does that freak you out? Think about it. That's a very strong possibility.
That'd be a dream come true, bro. Are you kidding me? That'd be a dream come. I'd be his agent. You and I would split the money.
Oh, wow. Really?
We'd tell Jake, hey, listen, we're your agent, Jake. Who's Dad? Who are you working with? Chinch. Me and Chinch are negotiating the deal.
I got an Ivy League education. I could make up some bullshit and get a couple.
Hey, bro, speaking of Ivy League education in Columbia, I had no idea that Lou Gehrig was a pitcher there.
What? What do you mean? Yeah, he was pitcher and a hitter.
But he went to Columbia, right? You knew that. You obviously knew that.
Dude, you don't know my story, the coolest story ever. First of all, I have a big wooden picture of Lou Gehrig in his Columbia jersey on my wall in the basement.
That's cool. That's cool. I can't wait to see it.
Here's the coolest thing, the single coolest thing about me playing baseball at Columbia University. When I was a kid, I made like this elite high school summer team, but I was only a freshman going into my sophomore year. No freshman had ever made the team. I was like, man, I had such an upside. I don't know what the hell happened. Anyway, so so the coach throws me my jersey when everybody's getting their jerseys, and he just threw me a jersey.
Right.
The only jersey that was I used to wear I used to wear 31 when I was a kid because it was Dave Winfield, and then I went to 22, which is whatever.
Will Clark.
Yeah. And then he just throws me a jersey. And back then, when you think about when you were a kid.
Did you wear 22 in high school?
No, I wore number 4. And here's what this guy throws me number 4. And the reason it was number 4 is because back then when we were kids, the lower number jerseys were like the smalls.
Oh, yeah.
And then it would go medium, large. And so the big guys would wear like the 30s and 40s, and the little guys would wear the smaller numbers. That's just how the sporting complexes worked with that. And I had a good year, and I was going to go back the next year. I was going to be like a stud on team. And I told my dad, I'm like, I'm going to change my number back to 22. And he goes, you know what? You had a good year. Maybe there's a reason he gave you that number 4. So now I'm like, all right. And I kept it. And now it's my lucky number. It's my favorite number. There's something about it. I got a tattoo of the number 4 on my shoulder.
Your back?
Here's the coolest thing. So Lou Gehrig wore number 4. He wore 4 in the big leagues. I get to Columbia. There was a senior who wore number 4 right before I got there. And so now he's a senior. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to wear number 4. He goes and decides he got in early to like Duke Law School. Right. And so he left for the spring And he goes, "Hey kid, you can have my number." So I get number 4. Now, don't forget, Lou Gehrig wore number 4 in the big leagues. But when he was in college, they didn't have numbers on the jerseys. So I got to wear Lou Gehrig's number,
dude,
at Columbia University.
Dude,
like my pride and joy. Isn't that
that's a
cool
great story? That is so cool.
I'll say one thing about Columbia. How the hell? I know they didn't wear numbers back then, but how is number 4 not retired?
Like not retired
at Columbia University.
Yeah, like you're just representing. Hey, listen.
I know. That's why
he didn't wear 4, but 4 will always be retired.
But so I got to wear the same
Chinch and Lou Gehrig.
I got to wear the same number as Lou.
Dude, that's really, really cool.
Isn't that a crazy story?
I just saw. I follow something on Twitter with baseball, whatever, historian, and they had a picture. Oh, here's a picture of Lou Gehrig. It was like a sweater. He's wearing his Columbia uniform, getting ready to throw. I didn't know it, so I just found out yesterday. And this story makes even more sense. It's incredible.
Hold on. Let me get this. Hold on.
All right. Wow, that's really cool. That is a really, really cool picture.
Yeah, dude, it's wood. It's on this wood thing Jess got.
Look how young he is, dude.
Dude, that's him. Me and him.
Wow. Look at that. 2 number 4s right there.
Isn't that cool? This is like my pride and joy piece.
Dude, that's really cool. Jess get that for you?
Yeah, for like Christmas one year or something.
That's cool, man.
Pretty bad.
Really cool. That's really cool.
All right. Well. Anyway, speaking of Jess, I gotta go make amends with her.
Yeah,
end the show. So
go meet her. Go meet her for lunch. Go, you, Jess, and Stevie Cohen. Go get a nice pastrami sub or something somewhere.
We'll go to Cat's Deli.
Go to Cat's Deli and go. The place is incredible.
All right, bro. You go take care of your mom, man. Let's get her into
I know.
Chiropractor. Rub it out.
Joan, what I'm scared of, anybody touches Joan Case, she doesn't, like I said, I'm nervous, like, she doesn't get massaged. My mom is one of the biggest wimps ever. Like, if you go up to my mom, I go to give her, like, a shoulder massage, she's like, ow. Not like, usually any other human's like, that feels good. She's like, shorty, stop it.
I love your mom. Thank you,
Jess. She's the best.
All right, we'll go get her straightened out. Literally.
Go call Jess. Make sure everything's all right. Love you, man. Hey, thanks for everybody listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Manana.